All of us wish to improve. We hear lectures like this again and again on how to improve. We try also to become better people, and yet somehow it doesn't seem to happen. And yet look at Tulsidas, the amount of transformation that he was able to achieve. What was instrumental in bringing about that transformation? It was the decision he made at that moment. Enough is enough. No more. I will change myself. We have choices because God created us that we may love Him. Love requires choices. A machine cannot love. Only that entity can love who has, Maya, I reject, I choose God. When you have that freedom, you can love. God did not create us as machines, but as beings who have the opportunity to love. And hence He has bestowed us with free will. Now, based on the choices that you make today, you will determine where you are going to be 15 years from today. This is the importance of choices. Consider the example of Goswami Tulsidas. He is one of the most famous saints in Indian history, the writer of the Hindi Ramayana. Thousands of people have done PhDs on that scripture. And if you read it, it is like a literary delight. He has used every literary tool to the hilt. And his chopais are direct translation of Upanishadic mantras, indicating that he had the comprehensive knowledge of the scriptures, to say nothing of his expressions of devotion. Every time I read it, I say, can a human being write like this? But Tulsidas was not a saint always. In fact, he was quite on the other side of the spectrum. Although he was a married man, he was so immensely infatuated by his better half that he could not dream of living without her. And one day she had gone to her Maika, parents' home, and at night Tulsidas realized that life without her is worse than death. So he said, I need to meet her immediately. He got out. It was raining heavily, but in love you can brave anything, and that was Tulsidas' experience. Like a hero, he walked through the rain until he reached the river before his in-laws' home. On that stormy, dark night, there was no boat willing to take him across. But his luck was good. A log was floating by. He grabbed the log and he swam across. He grounded it on the other bank. Now the appropriate thing would have been to go around to the front door, knock and come in. After all, he was the son-in-law. He has the legal right to meet his wife. He is not committing some crime. But he was in such a hurry, he could not tolerate the delay. He discovered a rope hanging from the top floor. He grabbed the rope and climbed in. So when he jumped in the 11th hour, his wife was startled. She said, "My dear husband, you are not Spider-Man. How did you come in like this?" He said, "It's my love for you." The wife said, "But how did you climb up?" He said, "You were so thoughtful. You had hung a rope from the window." She said, "I did no such thing." She looked out and discovered a snake slithering down. She said, "What? You were so infatuated in your love for me, you took that snake as a rope. And how did you cross the river?" He said, "You know what? It was my lucky day. There was a log floating by. Look." She looked and she saw that's a dead body. She said, "My God, I can't believe it. Your attraction to my body of pus, blood, stool, urine, mucus is so much that you mistook the dead body for a log and the snake for a rope. If you had a fraction of this infatuation for the Supreme Lord Bhagavan Sri Ram, you would have achieved God realization." That was the turning point in Tulsidas's life. He made a decision right then. He said, "Enough is enough. I am fed up with my lower self. I will need to change things in my life." And he turned around to become such a tremendous saint in history. So, what was the turning point in Tulsidas's life? All of us wish to improve. We hear lectures like this again and again on how to improve. We try also to become better people, and yet somehow it doesn't seem to happen. And yet look at Tulsidas, the amount of transformation that he was able to achieve. What was instrumental in bringing about that transformation? It was the decision he made at that moment. Enough is enough. No more. I will change myself. We too, at every moment, have decisions to make. Is this going to be the moment when you are going to decide to transform your life forever? You may say, "Swamiji, is it so easy? I just decide and it happens?" No, it's not just the decision, but the intensity of it which counts as well. There is one decision which is again changed, and there is one decision which is pran paryant, unto death. So it is up to us to choose well, to choose with intent and intensity.